Hi, my name is Tina Sampson, and I'm going to deliver my second speech. This is my audience. Everybody say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, they're going to take their seats. Let me adjust the camera. Now that my audience have taken their seats, my specific goal today is to talk to you about library books. Have you ever checked out a library book and taken it home and your kids used it for their handy artwork? Or have you ever spilled a cup of coffee on a library book and thought to yourself, oh well, it's just a book? But today I would like to talk to you about the process that library books goes through, from the time they're purchased until they reach your house for the pleasure of you having the pleasure of reading them. I currently work at the Thomas Nelson Community College Library um, at the circulation desk, where I am a person that checks books in and out. I do library cards, create them. I also are the ones. I am the one that continues the tracking of overdues and lost books. I read the collection. I shelf read the collection. I help patrons with using our online catalog, and also I answer general questions, reference questions. A quote by Redding, a European commissioner, had this to say: library books and libraries play a fundamental role in our society. They are the collectors and stewards of our heritage. They are the organizers and knowledge in the books they collect, adding value, value by cataloging, classifying, and describing them. As a public institution, they assure equality of access for all citizens. They take the knowledge of the past and present and lay it down for the future. Today, I would like to talk to you about library books. First, I will talk to you about the way they are purchased. Then, I will talk to you about the catalog system that we use in order to catalog books. Next, I will talk to you about the types of library books. Then, finally, I will talk to you about the care of library books. Let's start talking about the way library books are purchased. The New York University Library website, I found some information that stated that the acquisitions department, which is usually part of technical services, they are the ones that purchase books. They speak with and communicate with the reference librarians, and the reference librarians are the ones who actually decides what needs to be added or to the collection, and then they would talk to the acquisitions department after choosing those books on the way that they would purchase them. Um, in the Academic Search Complete database, found an article that talks about Baker and Taylor, one of the leading distributors of books in the United States. And that is one that Thomas Nelson Library currently use as one of its distributors for purchasing books. Now that I've given you some information about how books are purchased, let's talk about the way the books are cataloged. We actually have at TNCC Library, we have a cataloger on staff that actually, she's the one that does the cataloging of books. Usually, books are categorized one or two ways, either using the Library of Congress catalog system or the Dewey Decimal System. The Dewey Decimal System is typically used in the K through 12 school system. However, colleges and universities use the Library of Congress classification for cataloging books, and it's done through subject matter. The way they would do it is they would use what on a book you would find the spine label. The spine label tells how the book will be located in the library. And through the Library of Congress cataloging system, they use letters and numbers to represent where the book is found. For example, N would stand for art. So this book would be in the art section of the library. The 5300 is the number that will follow it in a numerical order. 2004 is the publication year, and V2 stands for volume 2. Now that I've given you some information about how library books are cataloged, let's talk about the types of books. You have reference books through the University of Prince Edward's Island. They talk about a reference book would be your books used for reference use only, and they would be in the library, but can be used in the library, but they cannot be taken out of the library. This would include your dictionaries, encyclopedias, any type of reference books, including the Bible, the Holy Bible, would be considered a reference book. Now, sometimes once these books are outdated, they are added to the general collection. Next, let's talk about another type of book, which is a course reserves. The SDS library, their website, talked about course reserves are books that are typically used for the courses that are offered at that school. This would be for the accounting 211 to 12 book that also will have material to go along with it to enhance that course. Now, these books are typically used in the library use only. They're attached to a patron's record, but they can't leave the library. Oftentimes at TNCC Library, if we have more than one copy, we will allow the book to go out for overnight or 3-day checkout. Now that we've talked about course reserves, I would like to give you some information about our general circulating books. They would be books like this that would be in our general collection. These books typically will go out for 4 weeks at a time. They can be checked out and also have one renewal. They will also include what is known as your paperbacks. They are also general circulating books. Now that we've talked about circulating books, let's talk about ebooks. These are your internet books. These are books that can be found on the web. You would read them online, and they will also can be just accessed through the Thomas Nelson database. Then I've given you some information about the way books, the types of library books. Let's talk about the care of books. In an article I found from Academic Search Complete, the Xerox Corporation has a new type of Xerox machine that actually won't damage the spine of a book. The spine of a book would be this part of the book. And as you can see, the care of library books are very important. This book can be checked out as a 4-week checkout, but sometimes we get books that come back with pages that are loose, but that are no longer attached to the book. So you need to take very good care of a library book when you check it out, because it takes special tape and it has to be sent to repair through the technical service department to repair that type of book. A lot of times a book is in so bad condition that the book cannot be repaired. Then that book has to be discarded and not used in the collection again because it's no longer readable for our patrons. In conclusion, library books are purchased through the acquisition department. They are cataloged at universities and colleges through the Library of Congress classification system. There are 4 types of library books: your reference books, course reserves, general circulating, and ebooks. And it's a good idea to, and the last thing is, it's a good idea to always take care in using a library book when you borrow it and take it home. I hope you've learned something that you didn't know before today about the process that a library book goes through by the time it's purchased until the time it reaches your home for you having the pleasure of reading it. I would like to thank my audience, and you all have a good day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.